Once upon a time, in a far away kingdom, there lived a very cruel king. His rules were so strict that even smallest mistake was punished by death. One day, a man in the kingdom accidentally broke one of these rules and was promptly arrested by king's guard. After a few days, he was brought before the king. The king, without hesitation, sentenced him to death. The man was shocked and deeply distressed, but he was also very clever. Gathering his wits, he began to laugh loudly. This surprised the king and his ministers. They had never seen anyone laugh in such a dire situation. They had seen people crying, begging, lamenting, or threatening, but laughter was new. The king asked him, surprisingly, "Why are you laughing? Did you mishear my words?" The man replied, "No, my lord, I heard you clearly. You have sentenced me to death." "Then why are you laughing?" the king asked again. The man said, "My lord, I have a remarkable skill. I can train horses to fly. I was just about to come to your court to tell you about this, but meanwhile I did something wrong and now I face your wrath. I laughed at the thought that, with my death, the chance for you to have a flying horse will also vanish." The king and his ministers were intrigued. They consulted among themselves. One minister said, "I think he is bluffing to escape death. Have you ever heard of a flying horse?" Another minister countered, "Who knows? Just because we have not seen a flying horse does not mean it is impossible." All the ministers gave their opinions. After hearing them all, the king was puzzled. Yet he was curious. He did not want to miss the chance of riding a flying horse. He asked the prisoner, "How long will it take you to train a horse to fly?" The man replied, "My lord, it will take a year." The king said in a threatening voice, "And if you fail, you will face a very painful death. You know that." The man agreed and said, "But I have some conditions. My condition is that, while I train the horse, no one should disturb or watch us. It is to prevent your enemies from learning about this and trying to kidnap or kill me. Also, food, clothes, and other necessities for my family should be provided so that I can focus entirely on my work." The king agreed and freed him. When the man returned home, his wife and children were crying. His wife asked him, "Why did you give the king such a false hope? You know you can't make a horse fly. You will just die a miserable death after a year." The man smiled and said, "Why do you think that way? Look what we have gained. I was supposed to die today, but now I have another year to live with you. In that time, there are three possibilities that can happen. One possibility is I might die a natural death. The second possibility is the king, who is growing old, might die in this period. And the third possibility is perhaps I might even learn how to make a horse fly." He said smilingly, "So let us stay hopeful and enjoy our time together without any worry." And it happened that 8 months later a neighboring kingdom attacked on their kingdom, and in the battle the cruel king was killed. With the king's death, the man no longer needed to make the horse fly. Now he was free to live happily even after with his family. If we see in our lives, we will find that hope is incredibly important in our lives. The entire world thrives on hope. When we go through tough times and face challenges, it is the hope that helps us keep going and believe that better days are ahead. Without hope, life feels like a dark night with no morning. Hope gives us strength to keep fighting and waiting for things to get better. Those who lose hope, for them life becomes like a dark night that has no ending. Many people who consider taking drastic steps like suicide often do so because they have lost hope in their lives. But we should remember that time is always changing. Things never remain the same. Just like night turns into day, difficult times will eventually give way to good times. In this story, the man held on to hope for a better future, and things eventually improved for him. In the same way, those who keep hope alive can look forward to a brighter future. If we give in to our struggle and lose hope, it can feel like everything is ending. But with hope, we can get through our hard times. Hope gives us a reason to keep waiting for things to improve. When we have hope, we can imagine a future where we find happiness, purpose, and peace. This vision can help us endure present hardship and take steps towards a brighter future. So never lose hope in your life because just as night falls, a new days begin. So you never know what amazing things the next day might bring. Therefore, stay strong, keep your faith,